Hello everybody. Today we have Pranav Avasthi with us, and he's going to introduce himself. He scored 700 and 730 in GMAT, so he's here with us to share the tips and tricks and his preparation strategy with our students. So welcome Pranav. Why don't you begin by telling something about yourself?
All right. First of all, a very good afternoon or good evening. I don't know what time period you're watching this video in. I'm Pranav, and I've been working with IT for about 6 years now. I started out with Accenture in 2015. And even while in college, I had this dream of mine that I have to go for an MBA, and that too from an Ivy League school, because I came from a very mediocre engineering college, and I wanted to make good on on my education part. So that's where the dream of an MBA started, and I wanted to have some experience under my belt before I went for any prospective colleges. And that's why I started thinking about GMAT when in around 2017, and I started preparing in 2018. And when I first started out, it was actually an uncharted course for me, because I had not studied in a classroom setup or even a personal studying session for about 3 4 years by then. And it was again a very refreshing experience to even think about it and start it. And the first bit of motivation came from there. I started out in August of 2018, and I prepared. I think I took a lot of time preparing because I wasn't confident enough, and I started preparing for about 4 months. And by that time, I had started giving out mocks as well. And in the January of 2018 was when I scored my 700. But after that, I went to Germany for an on-site stint with my client when I was working with Accenture, and I had to spend some time there, and I could not even prepare my application. So I came back, and with the 700 score, I didn't get a very good college, any acceptances. So I thought of giving another shot at it, and during the lockdown, I gave another shot at it. I prepared this time for around a month, on and off, while working alongside for my company as well, and then I scored a 730. My journey, if you look at it in a collated manner, it seems long, but the time that I gave for preparation and with conviction, I would say, was very short, to be honest. So yeah, that's my GMAT journey in long and short.
Okay, Pranav, starting from when you wrote your exam and got 700 to when you took the test again, when you took the GMAT again and then scored 730, how much time did you prepare in that moment? Like, how much was the gap between your, the time that you took the test and scored 700 to 730? And in making this transition, what changes did you incorporate in your, preparation strategy that made all the difference?
Okay, so actually, about my first attempt when I scored the 700, I was actually fairly confident. Okay, I might get my dream college this time around. I was aiming for ISB, and while I was in Germany, I was preparing my applications for some time, and I had had some decent exposure in the IT industry and even under good roles, basically. So I was fairly confident that I would get it, but unfortunately, I didn't. And all that time, I was just preparing my applications and facing rejections. And after that time, I think it was in February of 2020 when I got my last rejection. And after that, I was a little distraught, because you don't know, okay, something, one of your dream has died down. So what to do? Do you start from scratch, or do you move on to something else, or you take an alternate route? But after a month pondering, I thought, okay, let's just do it over again. And that's when the lockdown hit. And this time around, I had made up my mind, okay, if you do not get a good GMAT score, you can forget about getting into your college, the college of your choice. So when I started preparing this time around, I did not give much thought to my application process. I did not think about my questions, the application that I had to write, the essays that I had to write, or even shortlisting the colleges that I wanted to apply to. All I did was prepare, gave myself a couple of hours every day for about a month, and that's all I did. I prepared a simple strategy. Okay, I'm going to first of all, I'm going to go through individual segments once, and refresh my memory of all the techniques and all the formulas and all the rules of verbals and quants. And after I had done that in about 2 weeks, I just did as many questions I could. And the one major thing that I changed this time around was I revisited the questions that I had missed out on, or which I had attempted incorrectly. So that's one thing that I changed. And while giving out my exam, it took me a while to get it right, but I gave out so many mocks that I learned the technique to clear out my mind before attempting a GMAT exam. Because the first time around I messed up 15 minutes of my exam in anxiety, and those 15 minutes were the first 15 minutes of your exam. Those are precious. And also another thing that I did was I actually shuffled around my sections a lot, because earlier I was just going through the first section that I got, and I was going through the entire exam in that manner. But this time around, I tried to, because I had so many mocks already lined up, I shuffled around my sections a lot, and that gave me a clear look at things. It gave me a clear vision. Okay, if you take this section first, this works for you, because after this time you don't have to worry about managing your time for the next section, or because even though the sections have limited time with themselves, you keep on worrying about how when you get to the next section you would have to manage your time better. So when I shuffled my the way I took the sections, it helped me a lot, because it gave me a clear picture of what works best for me. And that's all there is to know about GMAT. Actually, you have to find out your groove, and you have to create your own niche in taking in making an attempt at GMAT. And there is no fit template for any one person. There is no fit template. You have to find your own template, and you have to follow that with your heart, with conviction and gumption. That's all you have to do.
Great. That's a very good answer. Okay, Pranav, the preparation strategy for verbal and quant is very different, right? So,
Right.
how did you approach these sections differently, and which out of these sections you found more difficult? And yes, there's IR also, integrated
Right.
reasoning. So, what was your strategy to tackle these sections differently, and what section did you attempt first in the exam? What was your order of attempting these sections, and how did that work out for you? So,
Right. Okay. So because of the gap in my exams, the attempts I made towards GMAT, the second exam that I gave was during the lockdown, and by that time GMAT had done away with the analytical writing assessment part, but they still had the IR part. So one thing that I had always in mind was that, integrated reasoning was something that you had to just look at and work out an answer for yourself, and that comes sometimes to some people it comes naturally, and I happen to be one of those people that it comes naturally to me. So I always kept that part, kept that section as the last section of my attempt or my exam. But with quants and verbal, what I realized was that when you're going out for a quant section, the questions, they are based on a certain pattern, and it could be a time and speed question, it could be a work question, it could be a TSD, it could be a number of question, it could be from a number of sections, but the patterns are more or less the same. So that is what I realized during my shuffling around with the sections. Because earlier in my first attempt, what I was doing was, okay, I think let's do away with the verbal section first. Let's do away with the verbal section first. I'll tackle quants later on, because you tend to take on the hard part first and then address the easy one. But I changed my strategy around for my next attempt, because I realized that quants for me was a low-hanging fruit, and for many people actually, scoring perfect 51 on quant section is not a big deal. And I realized that it was a low-hanging fruit only because it was based on a set number of formulae. It was based on a set pattern, and all you had to do was fill in those numbers. And even if you got the first question wrong or the second question wrong in a quant attempt, you had time, and even the questions would be different, in that order, and you would have time to recoup, and you would have time to get your brain on track and get into that zone. So you have to anyhow. Obviously, you have to practice getting into that zone. You have to create your own environment while attempting the mocks. But you have to get into the get into the zone of that exam, taking that exam. So I realized that okay, quants was something that could be done easily. Let's start with quants. And by the time I was finished with that section, I was already in that zone that when I attempted verbal, even the verbal questions seemed easy to me, and all I had to do was keep on doing what I was already doing. And this time around, I even skipped breaks, the 1 minute breaks. I skipped those because I was so much into that exam that I did not want to stop. I just wanted to keep on giving out my question and keep on clicking on answers, keep on working my brain because I had already given it some mileage before the start of the exam. And that is something that worked for me because the questions in verbal, they can be pretty daunting. And as we all know with RC, if you get the passage wrong, you would most certainly get about 75% of the RC questions wrong. So getting that, trying to get into the that zone at the very beginning of your exam could be a little daunting. It could work for some people. You have to try it out in your mocks. That's all I can say. You have to keep on shuffling. Even if you think the IR section is something that you struggle with, start with your IR section. Maybe put it at the last. Keep on shuffling with all the sections. There are just 3 sections. Keep on shuffling with all the orders that have been provided to you, and you will find the best pattern for yourself. That's an advice that I would like to give.